Alright, morning guys. We are back at the club water number 4 again. We're going to continue doing a bit of maintenance. Obviously this is all cleared up with all the silt and everything from when I was here last week, and I can actually see the bottom. I can see patches, clear patches where we've removed a lot of the siltweed and what have you, blanket weed. There's also a lot of leaf litter has come down in the last week. We are approaching the middle of October and the temperatures are definitely dropped, so obviously we're going to get all of the trees here dumping all of their leaves into the lake. There's nothing we can do about that, is what it is. So that will break down and become next year's silt. But today we're going to focus on trying to clear out the rest of this branch and then what lies beneath beyond that. I know there's a couple of sizable branches, well, one because I can see 2 of them there going into the water, so we're going to cut those back, float them out, cut off wherever that's coming from, and then I think hopefully that's going to be about it for this swim. Obviously we stringed it all back last week, so that's looking pretty decent now, nice and clear for somebody to get in there. And then we're going to make our way, assuming that doesn't take us too long, we're going to make our way into this swim here, clear out again or trim all of this back, clear out as much of the trees as we can. It does look like there's one or 2 branches in the water, but the vast majority seem to be out of it, so we'll give that a go. And then if we get time, questionable, but if we do get time, I'll give this one a quick trim as well. I think realistically that's probably all that it needs doing, so whilst I'm trimming this one to the left, I may well do that one as well. But I'm going to get the waders on, get in the water, and we'll start hacking this tree up. Right, let's get going. I don't need to go very deep. I'm literally going to start cutting here, leave all of that obviously just sat there. If I can get the other 2 out from here as well, I don't really need to get in the water very much at all, so hopefully we can get through it. Now when you find that you've bit off more than you can chew. Jeez. We're getting a bit of bend when I sit on it now, it's opening up, so we're getting there. Chainsaw would be nice, but we do with what we've got. We've got a floater! I think I'll just make this the edge of the swim. Right, number 2. This one is jutting out into the middle there. I've also got a branch that I found under the water, so I'm going to have to cut that off as well. Right, it appears it's just that one branch under the water, so we should be good to go. Number 2. Annoyingly, I managed to cut through the bit that had the branch coming off of it, so I've added a good couple of inches of cutting to my knife, but you don't know that when it's under the water. Right, done. Next one. Right, this one I can actually see it splits in two right here. I'm definitely going to take that one off first, which is that big branch, and then decide whereabouts on here I want to take this other one off. And it splits again under the water, so there's a couple of big branches under there. I'm just going to clear off some of this excess first, I think. Right, it looks like that. All of that is attached to the one branch that splits here, so I'll cut it off here rather than going further up. This other one out the way. It's a real struggle keeping the saw moving at the moment. can't get enough weight on the tree before I start slipping down to actually get it moving. A few spots of rain coming down. Oh well. Finally. Didn't think that sod was ever going to go. I just found the cut 6 inches further up that I was making last week, and that I had got quite a long way through. Well, that's annoying. How annoying is that? I was literally well over halfway through. Oh well. Sod's law, but it's off now at least. We'll get this one dragged out. And then we've just got that last branch to get through. Certainly going to be bringing off the lake bottom with it. Right, I'm going to go higher up the tree. I don't want to leave it poking more and more out into the water. And although that's a sizable branch, I think it's going to be easier than me trying to get through what is also a very thick branch lower down in the water. So we'll give it a go here. Still not a lot of movement in it, but it feels like I'm almost all the way through. It's really difficult maintaining any sort of footing of sliding down the bank. Definitely getting there. Bloody tiring, but I'm hoping, as I said, it's the last bit that we need to do on this particular tree anyway. But it's definitely moving. Just a case of getting through this last little bit and then it'll come away quite easily in the end. I think there is another branch out under the water as well by the feel of it. I don't know how far it goes. It may be one that I've already cut off, but definitely feels like there's two out there. I just can't get, almost need weight at that end to open up the gap a little bit more, or I need to pin something under here to lift it to open the gap. I just can't get any footing. I'm just constantly sliding down the bank away from where I need to be stood. Right, the plan is to use the log that I removed earlier, wedge it underneath this end to hopefully raise this up, drop the top end of the branch down and create a gap for me to get the saw into properly again. I don't actually know how this thing's still holding on. I've managed to move the branch about 2.5 inches away from the rest of it. It must be holding on by a thread. Yeah, I can feel one little point underneath where it's attached. That was all. Tiny little bit and it just wouldn't budge. Right, I dread to think what we're about to drag out. Probably considerably more than I think, or than I thought anyway. Let's get this other one back out of the way. As I thought. I was going to stick it up the top there, but I think if I'm going to try and do that, I'm going to kill myself. So it'll edge the swim nicely. Chop these little bits off. Right, and that is the swim done. I think when we first started there were branches going all the way out pretty much to where that, or certainly not far off where that bed of weeds is in the middle, and this whole swim was unfishable. We've managed to cut it right back. Still got just the end of the trunks in the water there, but they're basically couple of inches further out than this one that I've chopped off. In fact, that branch sticking out the water is the edge of it, so plenty of space for fishing. and we've probably raked the vast majority of the weed out of here at the same time, so job done. Obviously that was the last bit that came out, and that is the extent of everything else. Obviously a lot of it's been crushed down as I've been throwing these larger logs on top, but that was an awful lot of debris in the water that's now cleared, and we have a very nice fishable swim. Right, next swim is the Lifebuoy swim. This one's not too bad. Should be able to cut back, obviously the bit that we've got here pretty quickly. We'll trim it back. We have got this tree in the water there, but I think a lot of that, in fact I know actually, a lot of that is from the one next door, where we've got all the logs hanging across. So basically once we cut those out and get them out of the way, that's going to remove all of that anyway. So I'll get the strimmer set up ready to go, give this a quick going over, clear obviously all of this bramble out the bloody way, and that one very quickly will be ready to go. There is a bit of weed at the front there, but again a lot of that will get dragged out when the branches go, and whatever's left can be quickly removed in the waders, or will just die back naturally anyway in the winter months. So probably won't do that today, I'll leave that to sort itself out. Unfortunately I didn't bring my fork with me this week. Got halfway here and realised I'd left it, so I'm going to have to improvise, and I'll use a big stick. See if I can just get a couple of these branches back, and then that's done. I'm not going to go overboard. It's the swim itself is open. There's no obvious signs of tree debris in the water anywhere, so the point of this one was just to get it trimmed back quickly and make it fishable again, which it will now be. So once we remove some of these higher branches, there'll be plenty of space for people to come in here and cast out quite comfortably. there's no point going overboard, because when I come back in a week's time or a few weeks' time or whenever it'll be absolutely full of fallen leaves anyway, so just making sure that the worst of it is out of the way. We'll just attack that though. Make sure that's not tripping someone up. Right, quick and easy, on to the next one. Right, last swim of the day. It's much the same as the last one. Get all of this ground covering cleared, and then basically start attacking this fallen tree. I think basically what I'll do is cut it off to that point, just here on all of them, leave everything obviously on the left. That'll be enough to clear this swim out. It's just how much is in the water. There's obviously quite a bit of debris going all the way through to the right hand side, and there are definitely branches in the water, but a lot of that, if not all of that, will come out as I drag this other lot out. Fortunately this tree fell sideways rather than into the lake, so it should be fairly easy to get out. And looking at a lot of these branches, they're dead anyway, so hopefully the wood is soft and we can get this done pretty quickly. Another branch up there that's also coming down. I won't be able to do anything with that today, but that might be a long-handled tree saw, and getting that branch removed at some point in the future as well. So plenty to do in here, but hopefully shouldn't take too long. I'm just going to start by taking these branches out the way, just because they're going to be in the way of me strimming, so weed whacking. As I said, it wasn't going to take too much to get them out. Bloody brambles stronger than the branches. But I ain't complaining if it's going to break that easily. Right, that looks like everything that's going to get in the way, so get the weed whacker going and we'll get this one sorted. hopefully that's going to be enough to get this area cleared. We'll give it a quick going over. I'm not bother with that, and we'll see if we need to do any more, but hopefully that's enough to get us going on this tree. Looks like we have a very, very, very long dead fox or something down here. It's mostly just bones, but there is a little bit of fur there on the head. It does look like a little fox. I won't show you, it's not particularly pleasant, but at least it's not stinking the place. Cover him up. Looks like obviously as this tree fell, it's crushed a number of other trees, pushing them over, and they're stuck under the branches as well and out into the water, so that's why I've just removed that one. Hopefully that's the only one we have got to remove, other than these bloody brambles that are everywhere. There's another one here actually that's doing the same, it's bending right over. Done. As you can see, there's another fallen tree there as well. I'm hoping that doesn't go too far out into the water. I'm hoping it might stop there somewhere, because it's certainly been cut in places. I'm hoping it just, oh yeah, it looks like it's been cut there, so it shouldn't cause any issues, but I'm not too fussed about that one, but that one that's going all the way out there, which is then spreading out, I think I'm going to have to take that out, just to make sure that this area is clear for anybody who's fishing it. If you've got branches starting to go out into the water, the swim becomes unfishable very quickly. Right, that's created quite a bit of mess. So let's get this tidied up. Done. Right, branch 2 done. Let's see how easy or difficult it's going to be to drag it out. All of these branches are intertwined, which is why it keeps springing back. Right, that's that one out. I'm not going to get it all done today, there's just too many extra I can see more and more branches as I clear them. There's a couple down there that I'd have to chop up before I can get to that bit. Looks like there's a couple more coming off, so I'm going to tidy up some of these smaller ones, just leave the big ones, and then it should be a fairly straightforward job next time. Right, last bits for today. Probably coming up to about 1 o'clock, so time to go anyway. And my energy levels are pretty low by this point, so I think we'll get this bit out, and then it's just those last bits to do. A couple of big trunks, a couple of smaller ones, and then that'll be that. Right, I think that'll do for today. Managed to get a few swims cleared out and fully fishable. This one we're getting along well with. Obviously leaving this trunk here is probably quite a good thing because it stops anybody coming down here who might want to fish it from fishing right now, because it's clearly not ready to go yet, whereas if I'd removed that and a couple of the other bits, they might have thought it's good to go. So we'll attack this one another day, but that'll do us for now. So hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again.